to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Chaos, and it's, we reckon, the most ambitious one so far. We've upped the points from the usual level up to 10,000 points. It is the forces of the Imperium versus the forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard. James's heresy deepens here. He's now intermingling openly with Chaos, but the Imperium has been sent in. Enough is enough has been the cry, and a number of loyal forces from the Imperium have been sent in to eradicate this heresy once and for all. So fighting on the city terrain here, Imperial forces will be at this end of the table, and they'll advance in this direction. Outer defences here, tank traps and obstacles, moving in bunker systems, Aegis defence lines, automated defence fire as well can come from the Icarus las cannons, and also the quad guns as well. And then deeper into the city, with the influence of Chaos being stronger, it's beginning to destabilise here. Volcanic eruptions and so on taking place. There's a bastion here, and coming around, so even a strange graveyard at this end of the table, and then a fire base, again defences, ammunition dumps, then coming back into the city on this side, coming across outer defences here, and then back to the deployment zone for the forces of the Imperium. So the game will hinge around these three characters. These three are the ringleaders of the heresy. They've caused a portion of James's Imperial Guard to turn renegade. So it's because of these three guys that all this trouble has happened. So the aim of the game is quite straightforward. It's wanted, dead or alive. These three characters either have to be captured or eliminated. That is the simple objective for the forces of the Imperium, and then the forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard will fight fanatically to keep them alive. If the Imperium destroys these here, then perhaps the heresy will be over, and James's Guard, any doubt about their loyalty will be dealt with, but we'll have to see. So we reckon it's going to be a tough assignment for both sides, which is what we're looking for in this game. So we'll go on to the forces now that will take part in the game. Right, so welcome to this 10,000 point apocalypse game. We're going to run through the forces here. So we're going to go through the Imperial fists. Wherever heresy is found, you'll find Imperial fists fighting to destroy it. So the 1850 point list will take part in the game today on the side of the Emperor. So Chaplain in Terminator leading the force. 5 Terminators with Sergeant Power Sword, and then an Assault Cannon in with them. Then Master Level 2 Librarian, and with melter bombs. Then Centurion Devastators, twin-link las cannons and missile launchers. 3 tactical squads, all armed the same, all inside rhinos with las cannons, plasma guns, and then just a regular sergeant, but they have melter bombs. Hunter, and then 2 storm talons with twin-linked assault cannons and Skyhammer missile launchers, and then 3 land speeders, the front one there, 2 multi-melters, and then the other 2 with multi-melters, 1 multi-melter each, and then Typhoon missile launchers. So that's the force of the Imperial Fists. They're represented here in this game. But there's plenty more. That's about 2,000 points there, and then there's still another 8,000 points to come. Then the Imperial forces have use of the Titan here. The Scout Titan is not turned over to Renegade. This one's still loyal to the Emperor and configured with a twin-link turbo laser destructor and a plasma blast cannon. And then the call has gone out for assistance, and it has been answered by Winters SEO. He's come down and he's brought about 7,500 points worth of gear. He's going to run through his list here. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of elite stuff, but he's going to run through exactly what he's got.
Hi guys, this is Winters here. I'm very pleased to be on the channel with Striking Scorpion after so long. And I brought along 2,500 points of the 13th Legion. This is my Space Marine chapter, and they're using Iron Hands chapter tactics today. And at the start here, this squad, we've got 10 guys. There's a Flamer and a las cannon coming out of a pod. 10 more tactical marines, flamer, combi flamer, las cannon, drop pod. And this squad has got a plasma, combi plasma, las cannon, drop pod. And the last pod has got a contemptor pattern dreadnought with 2 Keras assault cannons. I should also point out that all the pods have got teleport homers on in case I want to jump in and use that with some of the Terminators. So here we have 10 Hammonators. Sergeant's got some claws, and Chaplain Snow in Terminator armour. What you see is what you get. And then running along the backfield, a squad of 8 bikes and a squad of 7 bikes. Both of the squads have got 2 grav guns in each, and there's a veteran sergeant in each with a power fist. In the backfield, I've got a Thunderfire cannon and another Tech Marine. And that Tech Marine, there's 2 plasma cannons in that Servitor squad. And then for flyers, I brought along a Storm Wing. Jumping out of this Storm Raven will be 6 Terminators. One's got an assault cannon, and there's Brother Matthias at the back there, a favourite on my channel, and he's got an auto cannon and heavy flamer. Okay, and then I brought along the Penitent Forge as well, which is Cult Mechanicus and some Skitarii, and they're led by Tech Priest Dominus with no upgrades, 2 units of 3 Breachers with the Haywire Blasters, 2 units of Destroyers with Grav, and 1 squadron of Onager Dune Crawlers, each of them with neutron lasers. They've all got an extra Cognis stubber, and this one's got the Cognis Manipulators for it will not die goodness. And then in the Skitarii, there's 10 units of Vanguard, 2 Plasma, 10 units of Vanguard, 2 Plasma, units of Infiltrators, and a unit of Ruststalkers, no upgrades whatsoever. Oh, and there's also 2 Iron Striders, again with no upgrades, just the Lancers, just to harass and terrorize. I've also brought along a Baronial Court from the Imperial Knights book, so that's 3 Knights. We've got a Paladin, an Errant, and something else, which I forget the name of. And they've all got what you see is what you get. So that one's got the big thermal cannon on it. This is the rapid fire battle cannon, and that's the rending assault cannon. Heavy 12, strength 6 AP3 rending with the Storm Spear rocket pod on top. The Baronial Court means they get counter attack and overwatch, and they get +1 to their ion shield save on the front facing, so long as they're within 6 inches of each other. And the Baron himself gets +1 ballistic skill and weapon skill. And then the last thing I brought along is Reaver Titan. He's called Fear the Darkness, and he's got 2 laser blasters, so that's 6 D shots, and the Apocalypse missile launcher, 15 hull points, 4 void shields. He is frightening. I think he's fallen once. It'll be very interesting to see if he falls in this game.
Right, so there's the 2 forces that Winters has brought down, combining together and with Imperial fists, and then of course the Reaver Titan there, just what you need when trying to eradicate chaos from an area. So just it's built up here at nice size for sort of elite stuff, plenty of deep striking units which will be helpful, and I love the idea of these breaches pushing ahead, trying to break through the defences. So we've got a nice force lined up here. I'm going to take a look at the forces of chaos now, and intermingling with Renegade Guard as well. Right, so Forces of Chaos here and Renegade Guard. We're going to go through the Chaos first. This is from the collection of Tristan Whitehead. You've seen him in Challenger Scorpion games, and he's come down to join an Apocalypse, I think, for the first time. But Chaos were needed, and he has responded here with 4,000 points worth here of Chaos. There's legions of them, tons and tons of infantry. So we'll ask Tristan to run through his list now. He's going to tell us what he's brought down.
Hello and welcome to my 4,000 points of Chaos Space Marines. It's going to be Black Legion, so all units have veterans of the Long War. We have 10 Chaos Marines here, Mark of Khorne, a mix of bolters and close combat weapons. Same again with double plasma. We've got a 10 Havoc unit here with 4 autocannons. We've got 5 Raptors, 2 melter guns, 2 plasma pistols. We have Fabius Bile, Huron Blackheart, and 2 squads of Nurgle Obliterators. At the back we have 2 Rhinos for the Chaos Space Marine squads. We have 2 Predators with autocannons and heavy bolters. And then following around we have the Chaos Space Marine bikes, led by a Fallen Sorcerer. He's Mastery level 3. 2 squads of Plague Marines with plasma weaponry. A Nurgle Sorcerer, he's a 4-drop model, I can't remember his name. And by the way, these Nurgle models were donated to me by Oliver Thomas, who couldn't be here today, so thank you to him. So we have 30 zombies here.
Zombies.
Got some cultists.
Cultists.
Typhus of the Death Guard. At the back we've got some chosen Night Lords. I think there's a melter gun and a plasma gun in there, veterans of the Long War. 2 Land Raiders. Sorry, 3 Land Raiders. There's a Helldrake. And coming back round, we've got some Slanesh fun. We've got Lucius the Eternal, a Master level 3 Sorcerer in Terminator armour, and we have a host of Noise Marines. There's 5 Cacophony there, and here's just a mixture of 20 Noise Marines, all with blast weapons and blast masters. Here we have 10 Chaos Terminators, Mark of Khorne, led by a Chaos Lord with the Mark of Khorne, Axe of Blind Fury. We have Khan the Betrayer, Bellicor, and 2 Hellbrutes. Stock standard. And the overall force is going to be led by Abaddon the Despoiler with 6 of his Bringers of Despair.
So that's Tristan's list there. Nice spread, loads of infantry, and there's a whole lot of characters in there. So this heresy goes deeper than we expected. There's a whole lot of Chaos characters have turned up, intermingling here with Traitor Guard. So a cleansing definitely needs to take place here. There's an opportunity for the Imperium to wipe out a number of key Chaos characters. We're going to go on to the Renegade Force now. James has said he hasn't put any banners in his army. That's all been stripped away. It's just legions of Traitor Guard here, and you can see the size of the force. James is going to run through what he's got.
Right, this is my 6,000 points Traitor Guard list. Now this is going to be an interesting fight. Right, this is my Astropath. He's got Demonology Malefic powers. He's got Summoning and Cursed Earth as his powers. I've got Primary Psyker at Mastery level 1. He's got Flame Breath and Fire Shield. That's the Pyromancy power. And I have a Brotherhood of Wyvern Psykers, and their primary power is Assail and crush, and I have 9 of them.
Okay, that's that unit there.
Yeah, that's that unit there.
Okay.
Yeah. My warlord, or Imperial Guard, well, traitor guard commander, he is a captain with bolt pistol and close combat weapon, and I have in his squad a flamer, voxcaster, and a medic. No banner, as we are traitor to the Imperium. I have 9 ratlings with the sniper rifles. I have a unit of ogrins. One of them is a bonehead, which is this guy here, and the commissar is attached to them. Also, I have a squadron of hellhounds. The command hellhound has got a hull-mounted heavy flamer, and they've got dozer blades and smoke launchers. I have a squadron of Lehman Russes. Yes, they are a squadron because I've got an HQ Lehman Russ tank commander, grants him ballistic skill 4. And I have a Vanquisher commander, which is ballistic skill 4, and he's armed with hull-mounted las cannon and sponson multi-melters. And I have 2 Punisher tanks in this squadron, Punisher Gatling gun, and 3 heavy bolters in each Punisher. I have an Imperial Guard Baneblade, paid this upgrade to give him 2 las cannons and 2 twin-linked heavy bolters. And I have a Shadow Sword, which is basically a D weapon, and paid the upgrades to have 2 las cannons and sponson heavy bolters. I have a Manticore with Storm Eagle rockets. I have the Macarius Vanquisher, which is armed with a twin-linked Vanquisher cannon and sponson heavy bolters and hull-mounted twin-linked stubbers. First platoon, I have a platoon commander equipped with las pistol close combat weapon. He has a flamer, voxcaster and medipack in his squad. And I have 3 squads, both all equipped with voxcaster and grenade launchers. And I have a unit of conscripts, 25 of them, and a commissar equipped with a plasma pistol and close combat weapon. I have a chimera with the squads as well, but basically per platoon I have chimeras. This is exactly the same loadout, except for power sword with this guy, and I have a bolt pistol and close combat weapon for this guy, this commissar. Third platoon, all the same, except he's got a power sword and he's got a plasma pistol, and I've got special weapons teams, 3 Milter guns and 3 flamers, and I have heavy weapons squad, a squad of las cannons, squad of auto cannons, squad of missile launchers with flak missiles, heavy bolters and mortars. That is my 6,000 points renegade force.
Okay, so that's the forces there, Renegade Guard, forming up as battle brothers with the forces of Chaos here. So we're saying that units can intermingle, so characters from here can join units from the Renegade Guard, and then vice versa as well. The alliance is strong, so we think, but we'll have to see what happens during the course of the game. I'm going to reveal the details of the scenario now that we're going to attempt to play. Right, so details of the scenario here. There are 3 characters, as I mentioned at the beginning. 1 astropath here, Master of Fleet, and then Master of Ordnance. It's actually those 3 that are the ringleaders behind James's treachery. It's not his entire Imperial Guard army that's turned renegade, it's a portion of it. So before it escalates and get even worse, I'm not sure how worse it could get after what we've seen here, but the forces of the Imperium have been sent in to capture or destroy those 3 traitors there, and hopefully that will end the treachery there, but we'll have to see. So there's 3 characters. They will deploy. Imperial deployment is at this end of the table, moving into the city from this direction. And then the 3 characters will be spread out across the table. So the first, I'm going to come all the way around here. And they have to deploy this way. One of the characters must deploy inside this first bunker. That will be the closest one to the attacking Imperial forces. Then the second character must deploy here inside the firebase, and then the third character, it's up to them what combination they put them in, but the third one must deploy inside the Imperial Bastion here. And the aim of the game is quite straightforward. There were 3 points each. The forces of Chaos and Traitor Guard will score 3 points if they keep them alive, uncaptured, at the end of the game. And then forces of the Imperium will score 3 points if they capture or kill either of those 3 characters. Yeah, so they're independent characters. They're free to move as they please. They can join any unit, Chaos or Renegade, and we've given them to the forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard. They have them. They have their full abilities as they come with in the codexes, so they'll be free to use as they wish. But the aim of the game is quite straightforward. Deny those 3 characters to the forces of the Imperium. Keep them alive and out of the hands of the enemy. Okay, another rule that we're saying here, if all 3 characters are destroyed, then the turn after, for every turn after that, James will make a test on a dice. The first turn after all 3 characters are killed, if he rolls a 1, then his army will turn loyal again and turn upon their Chaos allies. It could happen. It's unlikely, but there is that possibility that James may, or his forces may change their mind and beg and plead to come back on the side of the Emperor and to show their loyalty by turning on their supposed Chaos allies. But it's unlikely to happen. That gives Tristan, the forces of Chaos, all the more incentive to fanatically hold on to those characters and to defend them at all costs. We're going to go on to deployment now for both forces here in this epic clash. Right, so just working on deployment here at the moment. We're saying the overall army commander is the Winters chaplain here, Chaplain Snow. Will take command, so glory will go to him. All the responsibility of a failed mission will see, no pressure. And then coming around, the commander for the forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard, it has to be Abaddon the Despoiler. I wasn't expecting him to turn up today, but he is here present in this battle. So Imperial forces have deployed first. Honor Guards here at the front, 2 units of Vanguard here, Destroyers, Breachers, then Ruststalkers behind them. Unit of Space Marine bikes at the back, trying to keep them alive. That's a fast element that the Imperial forces have. Then both of these buildings here have been bolstered defences by the 2 Tech Marines. One of the Tech Marines there with his servitors. And then the 3 Imperial Knights here. So that's the left-hand flank that will be assaulting in this direction. The Renegade Guard, Forces of Chaos, still deploying at the moment. We'll go around the other side and see the other half of the Imperial Army where they've deployed. And then here, the Reaver Titan deploying right in the centre. And then just running in between his legs there, the 2 Dragoons. Visions there, perhaps, of a scene from Lord of the Rings. They come around here. The Tech Marine inside this building. The Scout Titan here, getting ready to move out aggressively. And then the Imperial Fist will take the right-hand flank. Being supported by Mech forces here, we're grateful for the support. It's a line of Rhinos here, all filled up with their tactical squad. Centurion Devastators have been joined by the Librarian. A Hunter here at the back for a bit of anti-air support. And then Breachers here, Destroyers here. And then a unit of infiltrators just here. Just using the Rhinos as a bit of a wall. There's 24 inches, roughly, gap between the forces. No man's land that will need to be crossed quickly and effectively before we can get into the heart of the Evil Alliance deployment zone. Right, so then reserves here. There's the tactical squads there inside the Rhinos. Then the Terminators will deep strike with the Chaplain here for the Imperial Fist. We're going to deep strike with the Land Speeders. Then my 2 Storm Talons have joined up. Look at this formation here. Looking very good. So we're linked up here. 4 Storm Talons and a Storm Raven. And then inside the Storm Raven there is the unit of Terminators and Dreadnought being carried as well. Deep striking with the 10 Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators there. And then obviously the drop pods will deep strike as well. So those are some reserve options that we have. Yep. So for reserves here, we're saying that we can start rolling up turn 1 onwards, just for the rules for Apocalypse. So any number of these units could arrive pretty much straight away, and the rest will follow on later. Right, then defence for the Renegade Guard and Forces of Chaos. Not much chaos to be seen here in the front rank. The Renegade Guard have taken up position inside the first bunker here. Yeah, meat shield is a good description of them. Right, so platoon Chimera here with the command squad, missile launcher team, heavy bolter team, squads here and here. No, the squads here going down, the man in the front barricades. Commissar with the conscripts, they're being deployed at the front. It's not because they're brave, it's they've been told to go there. The Commissar will shoot anyone that leaves. Coming around a second line here, being made up of las cannon teams and auto cannons. A lot of heavy firepower lined up. And just wondering where the character is inside this bunker. He's tucked in the shadows there, out of line of sight, being protected by the Night Lord unit. And Fabius Bar is in there, and then it's the Master of Fleet is tucked away, so being protected inside the bunker there. Moving through, mortar team just here, out of line of sight. Chimera here. Okay, command team in here. A squad here has taken up position inside this ruin. A unit of zombies. You realise that zombies are going to take part in the game here, but Tristan's brought some down. So zombie guard. James, your guard, that's their fate here. Bane Blade has deployed just there. Then coming along, Chaos Land Raider, Rhino. There's a unit of Noise Marines inside. Inside the Land Raider, okay, and inside the Rhino. 10 Marines, okay. Shadow Sword right at the back here, but with a view up the table at the Titan way off in the distance. So you could see an exchange of firepower from one end of the table to the other. But that's what you get in Apocalypse. Traitor Ratlings, if there is such a thing, manning the very top of the bastion here. Guard units, Plague Marines. No one else really near them. The smell is terrible. And they are protecting the Master of Ordnance. He's just on the corner here, so that's one of the other objectives. Manticore, just at the back here as well. A squadron of Lehman Russes, 2 Punishers, and the Vanquisher tank just there. Another unit of Plague Marines just here. You can barely see them. It's very dark at this end, very fitting. The light and the glory of the Imperial forces at one end. And the dark, chaos-cursed earth is at this end. Here, not many guardsmen around here. They're all sort of staying inside their vehicles. It's not a safe place to be wandering around at night time with Plague Marines and zombies wandering all over the place. Zombies in the graveyard. That was quite predictable. Typhus has joined them. Is this all one unit or? It is all one huge unit. Okay. Right, now what we're doing here, just a little extra rule, just for a bit of fun. D6 zombies a turn as a bonus can come out of the graveyard. They can join a unit that's already there, or they can start to form their own group. Another squadron here of Demolisher, Lehman Russes, and then defending this bunker. Just looking for the character here. Where is he? Around. Oh, he's there. The Astropath's just here. They can stay in the bunker system if they wish, or they can leave. It's up to them. Noise Marines in the middle. Units of guard. A Rhino here with Chaos Space Marines. Okay.
And the Noise Marines are in the building.
Yeah. The company commander for the Imperial Guard is just there.
No, company commander's over there. That's the platoon commander.
Platoon commander just there. Okay. And this is the Hellbrute behind a Land Raider. Another Land Raider. Just here, Plague Marines just there, and then guard squads manning the barricades. Macarius, Vanquisher, taking up position here with an angle up the table. James may shoot at his own Titan there. Terrible, sad situation. 2 Predators here, and then the outer defences again, conscripts manning the battle line. See how much brighter it is at this end of the table. And then inside the ruins here, Be'lakor is there. There's a dreadnought at the foot of the ruin, and guardsmen intermingling with the unit of Havocs just there. So that is deployment for both sides. It's a defence in depth here from this evil alliance. They're super heavies and vehicles all the way at the back, and then a spread, sort of quite an even spread running all the way up to the final front defensive line here, and then the forces of the Imperium ready to advance and smash into them. Difficult game to call. We're talking about trying to make predictions here. It's very hard to say. Everything hinges on those objectives. Who will live? Who will be captured? Who will die? We'll have to see as we go on to the first turn of the game. Yeah, just as a bit of a twist here for reserves, Hellhounds will come on from reserve. And then this unit of Terminators here, and this unit of Terminators, and the bikes will come on by outflanking. It could be turn 1 onwards. And then the Helldrake to fly on from reserve as well. Deep striking with these, okay. Raptors will deep strike also. Is Abaddon going to join the outflank move? He is. Fascinating stuff, okay. And then just to add on here, unit Cascarins and 2 units of veterans are going to come from reserve. James forgot to deploy them, so he thought the force was big enough already. But he has paid the points for those 3 units as well. Okay, Cascarins will deep strike, and then the 2 units of veterans are going to walk on in support. Okay, so deployment is done. The battle lines are drawn up. We're going to roll for initiative here. Oh, this is a big roll. So James has picked up a dice. He's volunteered himself. He's saying it's his responsibility, his fault. The heresy is... let's just get on with it. Right, we'll let James roll up first to see what there is to beat. He rolls a 4. Winters is going to roll here. Chaplain Snow.
For the Emperor.
No. Oh, 3, 1 point short. So they're going to choose. We're going to ask James and Tristan, you want to go first or do you want to go second? You have to go first. They are, okay. They're in agreement. They're good battle buddies here. They're getting on very well. But as the game develops and the casualties start to mount, will the alliance hold? We'll have to see. We're going to go on to first turn now for the evil alliance here. Traitor Guard and the Forces of Chaos. Right, so movement here for the Forces of Chaos and Traitor Guard. Not much movement going on. James interesting, quite happy to stay where they are, but a number of vehicles popping smoke here, just anticipating the Imperial firepower that could come down on their turn one. That's pretty much it. So we're ready to go into shooting phase. Be'lakor has taken to the skies and has flown across 24 inches straight at the Imperial line. Yeah, so the Forces of Chaos quite happy to hold their ground here. They're going to let off some firepower in this direction as much as they can. We're going to go on to Psychic phase first for the Evil Alliance. So just working on the Psychic phase here, the Astropath tried to summon Bloodletters, so truly he is a lost cause if that's what he's doing in his Psychic phase, but failed this time around, so none of them have materialised. Yeah, and James tried to cast Fire Shield here, but we blocked that, so nothing from him this turn. Right, we had a bit of a turn up here in Psychic phase. Usually it's not too significant, but it's not the case here. Be'lakor flying up and over, released Terrify first, knocking the leadership of the Breacher unit here. The Tech Priest Dominus was with them. He then rolled up Psychic Shriek, that went off, and rolled an 18, 666. Yeah, got his hit, and then Winters put the hits on the Tech Priest Dominus, passing a number of invis saves and a few feel no pains, but it wasn't enough. Tech Priest Dominus was killed, absorbing 3 wounds. 1 wound on the breaches. Yeah, the unit destroys, busting morale, and then couldn't fall back. There's no way to go straight back to table edge, so unit destroyed. Horrendous damage done there by Be'lakor. I've played against him once before. It wasn't a pleasant experience, and the reputation continues here. The lone demon flying out fearlessly across the table and causing all sorts of trouble. And then just to finish off Tristan's Psychic phase, perfect timing and misfortune on the laser cannon teams here. So they are rending and ignores cover for this turn. It's a pretty good Psychic phase from the Evil Alliance here. Very, very good indeed. We'll go on to shooting phase now, see how effective this combined force can be against the might of the Imperium. Alright, so shooting's still going on here. We're working on it at the moment. Icarus las cannons snap firing through. One of them did get a hit on the Scout Titan. Now, Void Shields were taken down. Both of them have been dropped from this las cannon team firing through. And then when they were down, a hit from the Icarus las cannon causing a glancing hit. So 1 hull point down on the Titan here already. That's the problem. When James is Traitor Guard, he knows perhaps how to deal with Imperial units, all of that experience being turned against the Imperium now. Then firing from heavy bolters, firing across, no damage done on the devastated Centurions. Out of range, all the las guns here. The Traitor Guard left to hold fire. Missiles firing through the Titan, not glancing there on armour value 14. Then Predators there at the far side fired across, but no damage done, or no hits, I don't think, on the Titan here. So he's being picked on here, the smaller Titan at the moment. Okay, so yeah, so fire from the building here. Devastators, Dreadnoughts firing through. Some damage being done, some Vanguard being brought down. 2 penetrating hits on one of the Honour Guards, but saved with the Invuln, but 1 glancing hit did get through, so 1 hull point taken there. Right, so Obliterators hidden in here. Didn't even see them. Where are they? Oh, they're in there. Okay, and they fired through and have taken out one of the Void Shields on the Reaver Titan. We'll let James shoot here. Macarius Vanquisher now has a target, the Scout Titan in the distance that no longer has its Void Shields. Yeah, we do get cover. It's probably unlikely that James is going to do anything but Searchlight, okay. Right, roll up then. So, here comes the shots.
It's twin links, I rolled 2 dice.
Okay.
PS3. It hits.
He does get a hit.
Strength 8, AP2, armor bane.
Okay, that's pretty good armor punching capability.
13,
Bounced. Oh, we're going to have to do better than that. But a shot coming in there. It's being picked on at the moment, the Titan. James said that he wouldn't shoot at it, and he's done the complete opposite. He's focused on it here with some fury and intensity. But there's one lesson you should always learn. You don't never provoke Titans. Okay, Shadow Sword here with a view all the way out the table. It's so far away, but 120-inch range. He's going after Imperial Knights, is what he can see. So James can roll up for that. Okay, so James is going to roll up for Scatter here. Just position the template. Shot coming in.
1 inch.
2 inches.
Okay.
He's on that corner. It's going to scatter that way and hit all 3.
It's actually scattered, but landed in a good spot. It's touching all 3? It is, yeah. Shadow Sword hit amongst all 3 Imperial Knights. Good shooting from James. Yeah, so the front Knight Errant here. James is going to roll to penetrate that. He's gone. On a 6. Oh, lead Knight's gone.
Let's do the second one and the third.
Oh, it's D-weapon result of a 6.
What, this?
No, not that one.
Oh, the Knight. Okay.
The Knight's gone. Okay.
Just one of them.
Okay.
Next shot coming through. If James rolls another 6, it's going to send shockwaves through the Imperial battle line. 5!
3 plus invuln.
Yeah, okay. 3 plus invulnerable save. No.
3 whole points.
Yep. Well,
Unbelievable. 1 hull point. It's got away lightly there. That's the second Knight has come off with just 1 hull point taken. The next one coming through. Yep, James will roll his result here. Oh, that was almost a 6. Another 5. Invuln save coming through. Yep, no, that's okay. So the other 2 have got off lightly, but 1 Imperial Knight has been blown to pieces here. Okay, so 1 Imperial Knight destroyed. It had to be removed from the table in that deadly hit there from the Shadow Sword. About one of the best shots we've ever seen from that tank.
Shots ever done.
And from end to end, what a superb piece of shooting there. It's sending out a message here to the Imperial forces that this evil alliance, it's not going to be a walkover. Death and destruction coming in from the furthest corner of the table, reaching right into the heart of the Imperial line here. That marks the end of shooting. I know, Baneblade coming up next as well. So, Traitor, super heavy tanks, pretty good hit. Right, so Baneblade firing through, not quite as much damage from him, but another hull point taken on the closest Imperial Knight. There's 2 hull points down on him, the other one passing an invuln save from the shot coming through. But Shadow Sword, very, very good. Question is, can he be reached? What's the range on the furthest weapon on the Reaver? 360 inches. Yeah, no, he's in range. So that'll be all right. There may be an exchange of firepower. There may be a deadly reply that comes, we'll see. But shooting is finished. Run moves are done. There's no assaults this turn, so turn 1 is finished for this evil alliance of Traitor Guard and Chaos. But they've made a good start. Psychic phase was good. And then 1 exceptional bit of shooting from the Shadow Sword as well. Turn 1's done. Going to go on to the first turn for the Imperial forces. Right, so movement here for the Imperial forces on turn 1, surging ahead, Titan moving 12. Okay, just going to roll 5s and 6s to get Void Shields back. Yes, we do. One of them returns, so we've regained that. That'll be helpful. Okay, Hunter moving across, Breachers moving up, Infiltrators moving up through cover, Centurions moving forwards, and the 3 Rhinos pushing ahead as well. So reserves, the Flyers are all going to turn up here turn 1, so 2 Storm Talons for the Imperial Fists zooming on, 36 inches to lay down some strafing fire for the Imperial Fists. Then coming around, I'm going to run through some deep striking units here. Turn 1, turning up with this drop pod assault. There's a fair amount of them have arrived here. The Terminators wanted to land them here. They deep striked and landed just there instead. Yeah, we lost one in the ruin. Then drop pods coming down. Tactical squad disembarking here and here. Terminators landing in the ruin, losing one of their number as well, getting tangled up amongst the ruins and the lava from the volcano. Then tactical squad landing here in the drop pod. Contemptor Dreadnought landing here at the entrance to the bastion here. So we were wondering how we're going to chase the asset that's in here, and then here you can see a sizable Imperial force that has landed. So there's a good chance, well, there's a chance at least, that we can make an attempt at seizing or destroying the character here. His Master of Ordnance is just there. Land speeders deep striking. One of them destroyed by interceptor from the various quad guns dotted about across the table. Icarus las cannons all missing, using them at ballistic skill 2. Then coming around, no deep strikers landing here, so it's quite safe at this objective for the Evil Alliance. Then coming across, the Storm Wing has turned up, coming on 36 inches. A general advance here from the Mech. This squad of Vanguard falling back. Bikes moving along, just trying to prevent the outflank units from coming on, and then bikers moving up here as well. And the Imperial Knights advancing in this direction. Their numbers thinned there, one casualty taken, as we saw earlier from the Shadow Sword. That is it. The movement is done. The drop pod assault has arrived. It's been well coordinated. They've come down. Some damage has been taken, but they are here. We'll see what kind of damage we can do. Going to go into Psychic Phase first now for the Imperial forces on turn 1. Psychic Phase done. Shrouding cast here. So we've got a 6-inch shrouding bubble, and that is about it. James failed to block that with his Deny the Witch rolls. So Psychic Phase finished. Going to roll straight into shooting now on turn 1. So Reaver Titan firing in response. It had to be done here against the Shadow Sword. Gets his hit. Oh, two. Oh, it's 2 shots.
3 shots.
There's 3 shots. And they all hit. Oh, 3D hits.
And it's AP.
This is the first gun.
Okay.
D.
6. What does that mean?
It's
Dead.
loses 6 plus D6 hull points. So it loses a total of 7 hull points,
9.
Okay.
which you can't take cover from.
So it's
Oh.
2 left.
And then the other 2 hits do 2 more and 5 more, but you got cover
No, no.
save. But you get
Oh, I get cover save, don't I?
Okay.
Apart from that. 3 up.
3 up plus 9, fine.
Yeah, there's a ruin in the way.
2 up.
Okay. Yeah, no, just resolving it here, working out the hull points. James failed a cover save here, and it's just enough to tip it to 9 hull points in total, which is a destroyed Shadow Sword. So the response has been swift, deadly, and precise. It's a good exchange, though. James killed Knights. He's quite happy with that, but the Shadow Sword is no more. We will resolve the explosion here. Winters is happy, I think, with the result there. Neutralising one of the nasty targets. We'll resolve the damage that's done and then wreck that vehicle. Right, so shooting phase here for the Imperial forces has been pretty good. We saw the firepower coming down from the Reaver Titan all the way down here. The Shadow Sword is no more. It flipped up and off the table, so just what's left of it. Just there, a big smouldering crater left behind. Firepower from the Storm Talons, ineffective. Plasma blast cannon firing down here, went for the 10-inch blast, strength 10. Going to ground here, so 4 up saves, and then going to ground an extra point to cover save and night fighting. So 2 up cover saves, not much damage being done, but damage being done. Casualties been taken on a number of the units, but the entire line here has gone to ground here under the immense firepower from the Imperial forces. Chimera destroyed. That was fire from the Centurion Devastators and also the breach teams as well, working together. We let off a missile here. We missed Bellicor, but he's now being tracked by a missile on the far side. Out of range and can't run with the destroyers. Then the Titan firing his twin-link turbo laser destructor and contributing fire from the land speeders has destroyed the Baneblade just here. As well, killing a couple of the cultists there. Terminators firing, catching the las cannon team from behind. 2 of those killed, and then 1 wound on the other, and gone to ground with them as well. So tons of firepower pouring in onto the bunker system here, keeping the heads of the traitor guard down. The drop pod assault has got underway. Fire coming through, just causing casualties on the Ogrins, the cultists. Vehicle 2 hull points here on this Rhino, land raid untouched. So some fire coming down, but not amazing damage done from them, but a strong presence now in this sector. And with the Baneblade gone, these units may be able to establish themselves quite well. And also the Shadow Sword destroyed, significant turn of events there as well. Then coming across here, all quiet really in this sector. Units untouched. Macarius still alive. Predator's still alive. This Chimera destroyed, and the squad has got out just there. Yeah, just looking at you can see the difference here. A lot of damage taken on this floor. It's been absolutely pummeled by the Imperial Knights doing that damage.
Imperial Knights,
Yeah.
Stormwing.
Stormwing, yes, the flyers here firing. Okay, yeah, so again, tons of firepower. You can imagine the volume of shots flooding in as it's shoot and advance is a policy at the moment from the Imperial forces. Bellicourt untouched. Oh, he's untouched. He'll be a bane, I think, for the entire game. Very hard to get rid of him. And that is movement and shooting done. So run moves finished here as well. Flat out moves all done. The bikers, yeah, have pushed up through the gap. Again, going in between the legs of the Titan just there. Just finished off a couple of run moves. Winters just shifting those. Another 6. They're pretty quick, those things. Okay. So shooting phase done. Do we have any assaults on the table? I don't think there is. No. So with those drop pods coming down, yeah, I'd say night fighting kept a lot of the infantry safe, especially over in the bunker there. James going to ground with the traitor guard. 2 up cover saves a lot of the time, so it was awkward for the Imperial forces. But excellent firepower from the 2 Titans, really helping out, neutralising the 2 super heavies. That is significant on turn 1, but still a long way to go. So turn 1 is finished. It's been a good turn, good exchange of firepower from both sides, but the question is how far can the Imperial forces advance? The 3 objectives are secure, so as it stands the Evil Alliance will win, but that can change as the game goes on. So we're going to go on to the second turn now, so Evil Alliance turn 2 coming up next. Okay, so movement here, turn 2 for the Evil Alliance. Yes, we have been flanked. Bikers turning up here. I thought the Hunter was safe, but the Hunter has become the hunted. And then Terminators arriving here. Any characters in with them? Yeah, Khan the Betrayer. Okay, that's a good... Okay, Khan the Betrayer, good title for a character. working alongside James's guard here, James the Betrayer, as well. And then James's forces here. He's going to use orders to try and get them unpinned, I think. Las Cannon team busted morale and has fallen back. Chimera moving up here. Seems to be just holding ground with these squads. Just holding position with those. Then coming across here, countermeasures have been taken against the deep strike assault. Abaddon has turned up, flanking on with his Terminator, so we could see an epic showdown, Terminator versus Terminator there. And then disembarking from the Land Raider, Lucius the Eternal with his Noise Marines and the Sorcerer just here. Deep striking in with the Raptors, they've turned up as well. Cultists being thrust into the fight. Ogryns moving across to join in as well. Now it's been a good reaction. There's a lot of Chaos units converging on the drop pod assault. It's looking nasty. Noise Marines disembarking as well from the Land Raider. Plague Marines moving up as well. Plague Marines moving up on top of the bunker or the bastion here also. Then Lehman Russ is shifting ahead, passing dangerous terrain checks. Driving through the wall here. Zombies won't be happy with that. Disturbing their graveyard. Any more? D6?
Yeah, there's three more.
3 more have turned up. Okay, so more zombies being dug up. And thrust out unit of them moving off in this direction. Dreadnought shifting off towards the land speeders. They could be doomed. And then holding ground here with these units by the look of it. Macarius staying put. And then the Predators staying put as well. And then just holding the line with these squads. That's their simple task. Just hold the line for as long as possible. Bellicor staying where he is, moving.
He will be doing a movement over here.
Okay, yeah, just resolving the move there from Bellicor. It's the last bit of movement from the forces of Chaos there. Vector striking, 1 hull point, and weapon destroyed. The twin-linked assault cannon gone. So that's movement done. On to Psychic Phase next. Right, so Psychic Phase here on turn 2. Invisibility has been cast and it wasn't blocked on the unit of bikers here. Then Nurgle Sorcerer just around here. Casts Misfortune on the cultists. They'll be rending, would you believe, in combat when they charge. Then Bellicor here is invisible. And then the power he used is on these for Fearless. Mental Fortitude on the Obliterators. They're Fearless as well. Okay, then Hallucination cast on the Breachers here. -1 ballistic skill for them. And then, as if that wasn't enough... something else of significance here. The Astropath, fascinated with trying to conjure up demons and bloodletters, managed to. A full unit has come out there, but he did peril, and James rolled the dreaded 1. It's only a 1 wound model, so the Astropath is dead, sucked into the warp, and in his place, bloodletters taking his position. But it serves him right. He deserves to die for his fascination with demons and conjuring up. The Astropath is dead, dropping 3 points from the Evil Alliance and giving them over to the forces of the Imperium. So we didn't think that would take place. Victory points being scored in a Psychic Phase, but it has happened. And the Astropath is no more. Perhaps one of the harder objectives to reach, but we can now ignore that area thanks to the blundering Astropath with a melted brain. He is no more. He is gone. Bloodletters taking his place, and 3 objective points scored by the forces of the Imperium. So 2 left now. The Master of Ordnance just there, and now perhaps precariously the Master of Fleet here, very close to the advancing Imperial forces, so the game really is on here. As we go into the shooting phase, coming up now for the Evil Alliance, we'll see what response they can give with their firepower against the advancing Imperial forces, and also all of the deep striking units that have come down. We're going to shooting phase next on turn 2 for the Evil Alliance. Right, just in the middle of shooting here, James is going to fire the Macarius. Just put your finger on it, James, where it is in the distance there. It's got a view at the Titan here. 5+ cover save. Void Shield has been knocked down previously. That was from... yeah, auto cannon hits. All right, well coordinated. Okay. Fire. It's twin linked. He's rolling both. Yeah, he's got a 4. So he's got his hit. He should penetrate here. Well, strength 8.
82 armor blade.
Okay, here it comes.
penetrated.
Oh, he scored a 89, 16 shot, slams into the... So roll up your result now. Just a hull point, isn't it? That's all it can be. It's AP2. Okay. Just going to roll this result to 4, becomes a 5. It is just a hull point, but another one gone. Hold it right there. Cover save, 5+. Ugh, a 1. Okay. Yeah, so 9 hull points total. Lost 2 so far, so 7 left to go. Damage coming in against Titans. Okay, so shooting here. Bikers firing through, killing one of the breachers and wounding the other. And then Terminators letting loose of everything they had, killing and wounding one of the Centurion Devastators just there. And then 2 hull points and a 1 result there on that Rhino. That was snap firing and shooting from all the squads around here. Really are suppressed at the moment, failing a number of their get back in the fight rolls there. So firing at snapshots has made quite a difference. And then the Icarus las cannon is not allowed to fire because they intercepted last turn. So not much sporadic firepower really coming against the Imperial assault, which is good news for them. Just the damage coming from these outflanking units. We're going to have to try and deal with those as best as we can. A little bit more movement just to recap. Failing morale with these, they've fallen back, busting on leadership 10. Failing the crew inside for the penetrating hit, they are pin snapshots only, and then these we move them up 3. Forgot it last turn. June Crawler, they should actually run 3 extra inches, so we've just covered that there. It's not made any difference really as far as shooting's concerned. Terminator's been picked on here. Number of chaos units. Ogren's firing as well, just failing a number of saves. 1 rending hit actually coming in from shooting from the cultists. 2 Terminators dropped, and the chaplain has been wounded as well, being hunted down here. Looking a bit thin on the ground with that unit. Then firing from this unit here, wiped out the combat squad. Winters has broken his squads down into 5-man combat squads. There was a squad there, they're dead. Terminators have taken 2 casualties in total, and a casualty taken just on the combat squad there. A couple of casualties here, but passing morale with that squad. So immediately being attacked here with shooting and no doubt assaults as well. Just to mention, James has recovered a few units from the break that we've had. D3, a number of units returning. Las cannon base is back but still running away, and other units around the table just recuperating some of their casualties. Then coming around, pretty quiet around here. Just the shocked Imperial Guard Psychers having the bloodletters manifest in front of them. The tanks pushing up in this direction. Macarius we saw earlier causing a hull point on the Titan off in the distance over there. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So assault cannon configuration firing from the obliterators has downed one of the storm talon gunships. It is gone. And then 1 casualty caused on here. That was Manticore fire. It was meant to come down there, scattered, and then just took out 1 casualty just there. There is one of these is missing, has been shot, has it? Yeah, okay, one of those is gone. Okay, just fire from the front defensive line here. Imperial Knights untouched, I don't think. Not much attention has been paid to them this time. So not too much damage at this end. Very, very intense fighting taking place though. Just over here. The forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard really doing the best they can to thin the numbers down of this drop pod assault. But that is shooting phase finished. Morale is done. I think the run moves are all finished, so what we're going to do is go into the assault phase next on turn 2 for this evil alliance. Right, so resolving combats here. Charges have taken place, all quiet at this end of the table. But the Terminators, no damage from Overwatch. They have been charged by the Cultists and also by the Noise Marines. Big melee there to get resolved. Then Plague Marines have charged into the combat squad there. Just a 3-man unit. This is a separate unit here. Plague Marines here have had a victory. They've beaten that combat squad, wiping them out. So that's that combat resolved, and then just consolidating a few inches onto the terrain. And then still consolidations moves to do with these, killing the chaplain and the Terminators, except the Terminator Sergeant, who's busted morale, fallen back, but he'll regroup. But he's on his own now, and he's alone in a very, very scary place indeed. But combat's resolved. The turn is finished. The forces of evil here. So we will go on to the second turn now for the forces of the Imperium. The advance continuing, and then the big question, can the drop pod assault units here make any progress on towards the asset here, who is just hidden at the back right there, the Master of Ordnance. So turn 2 coming up next for the Imperial forces. Okay, so movement here for the Imperial forces on turn 2. Hunter backing off. There's not much it can do. It's pretty much doomed if he decides to go after it with the bikes. Rallied here with the breaches. Destroyers moving around to fire at the Terminators. Moving along with Centurion Devastators and Librarian. Going to shoot as they move along. The Infiltrators moving up nice and quick. With that extra +3 they get on their movement. Rhinos pushing through in this direction, trying to scoot around the side of the bunker. 2 Storm Talons moving up and over onto the bunker to lend fire support here. Much needed fire support, I might add. Then bikes pushing through the Titan. Has that moved? I think it's... No, it's happy to stay. Firing. Okay. Bikes pushing up 12. They'll still have a turbo boost move to do. Titan moving ahead 12 inches right at the foot of the barricade here. And then the Sidonian Dragoons ready to charge. The conscripts as well. Then the lone Terminator Sergeant rallied and is up here on top of the bunker, ready to charge the autocannons. Then round here, combat squad moving to fight against the las cannons, just picking key targets as much as possible, although their fate does seem sealed amongst all of these Chaos and Renegade Guard units. Down here, a brave combat squad ready to take on the Plague Marines. Then here, the Thunderhammer Terminator squad ready to charge into the unit that came out of the Land Raider just there. There is a Sorcerer in there, and then Lucius the Eternal is with them as well. I've come across him before in games with Tristan. Nasty unit that he is. And then a combat squad here is forming a screen to let the slaughter take place behind. The plan is to try and smash into it and then bounce on towards the objective, but it's looking a tough task. It's being guarded by Plague Marines at the moment. And then coming around here, all quiet around here, a bit of a not as important now going after this bunker as the asset there killed himself trying to bring up Bloodthirsters. And then the air cover has swung around, Storm Talon and Storm Raven heading off in this direction as well. Air support coming in to try and help the beleaguered Marines and Terminators over there. And then a general advance, the Honor Guards pushing up in this direction. Rust Stalkers and Vanguard pushing up, bikes pushing up, and Breacher team as well. And then 12 inches, nice and quick from the Imperial Knights heading up through the centre as well. So ground being made, the Scout Titan leading the way as far as the large units are concerned, pushing ahead. So we reckon the game, it seems unlikely that they might reach this asset here. We'll see what happens. And then up here, there's a good chance, we reckon there's some chance that we can reach the Master of the Fleet. He's down here. Will he stay, or will he try and launch some kind of escape? We'll have to see. But we're going to go on to Psychic Phase next on turn 2 for the Imperial forces. Right, so Psychic Phase finished. Tried to send off or let off Psychic Shriek here. It went off but blocked easily. So many dice rolls that they have. The Forces of Chaos have got sorcerers and psychers everywhere, so that's blocked. No psychic power manifested, and that marks the end of that phase. So we're going to go on to shooting now on turn 2 for the Imperial forces. Yeah, just resolving firepower from the Reaver Titan here. The guys are just working it out at the moment. He's firing at Land Raiders here. 5 of the Noise Marines killed the first round, coming in, destroying those. Okay, so shots resolved here. Not quite as effective. 3 hull points from this Land Raider, and this one's untouched. So that was the, what's the weapon called? It's a
laser blasters.
Laser blasters. Both of them fired. 5 Noise Marines killed, and then 1 Land Raider with 3 hull points. So not quite as deadly this turn. Yeah, we'll do the rest of the shooting now. Ah, yeah, apocalyptic missile launcher. Okay, thinking about where to put this one. I would still say in the centre of all that lot down there. You've got to try and help and relieve these forces. Take the pressure off them as much as possible. Yeah, so I think Winters is going to go here with that. Then we're going to use the apocalyptic blast. Yeah, we've forgotten our templates today, so we're making it up. But putting that in. Okay. So we'll see what kind of damage that shot does from the Reaver Titan. Great fire support asset to have in an Apocalypse game. Right, so Apocalypse Missile Launcher is the term. It's gone off here, shots landing all over the place. More Noise Marines killed. And the one that we've called Trumpet Face here, the one that did the challenge against the Terminator Sergeant, he's been killed, thankfully. And Ogren's been dropped here as well. And part of the Las Cannon team killed, and then Cultists as well. So thinning down that concentration of Evil Alliance units there. That's just the shooting from the Reaver Titan. We've got the rest of the shooting coming up next from the forces of the Imperium. Right, so rest of the shooting phase. We saw the Titans firing down, doing damage. This Titan firing down. We fired the Plasma Blast Cannon here, decimating the Terminators that are protecting Abaddon there. So significant damage done, very significant damage. Yeah, and then the D weapon, the Twin Link Turbo Laser Destructor, destroying the Land Raider that was here, and then the other one still has the 3 hull points. So pretty good damage from the Scout Titan. And then numbers thinned down here, that was 5 from the Reaver Titan, so helping the beleaguered Marines and Terminators here quite significantly this turn. Then the 2 Storm Talons spinning their twin-linked assault cannons around and destroying the Heavy Bolter Squad here, and then went to ground with the missile team, but 2 of them destroyed as well in that instant death result. 1 wound put on the autocannon team from the Terminator, getting ready to assault. Thunderfire cannon penning and killing 4 or 5 of the guardsmen just here, manning the barricades. Going flat out turbo boosting with the bikes, pushing up a further 12 inches. 5 from the Devastator Centurions, and then also the Destroyers coming through, bringing down a number of the Terminators and wounding the squad leader there. But there's still a presence on the table. No damage done at all against the bikes. A missile shot coming off, targeting, hitting, wounding. James failing a cover save, damaging the quad turret there, and then being finished off by Winters air cover there, destroying that one. That's helpful for the air cover, and then destroyed here as well from fire from Winters Air Force units there. Around the other side then, fire from the squads here. 7 conscripts brought down, their ranks beginning to thin. Then running with the unit here, and then turbo boosting with the bikes, 12 inches. Then the breachers moving up also. 5 from the Imperial Knights there, killing a few havocs and obliterators just in the ruin here. There's not much left. Yeah, there's a Dreadnought tucked around the corner, but just guards them really, so the numbers being thinned in this front line defence at this point on the table. And then we've covered that, just come around. Pretty quiet here, not really much attention being paid to this corner. And then coming around, just resolved the shooting here with the Marines. Looks like a Plague Marine's been brought down from that combat squad. And then the combat squad here has killed another base from the las cannon team. Right, okay, so the Flamer went across here, coming down and damaging this unit, and then also that unit there. These guys fired, but no damage done. Who'd they fire at? That squad. Okay, trying to soften them up before the charge from the Terminators. I think that's the turn shooting done. Run moves, flat out moves have been done. So we're going to go on to assaults now. Roll up the charge distances in Overwatch and get these combats resolved. So assaults here, the Centurion Devastators have actually charged the Terminators. Rather take the plasma shooting on Overwatch rather than in the shooting phase for Chaos. And then here, the Infiltrators have charged up and over the barricades super fast. No damage from Overwatch. They're in. The Sidonian Dragoons have made it into combat. One of them's got immobilised though. A freak hit there. The Commissar for a crack grenade got a hit and then rolled a 6. And then an immobilised result there on open topped. So that one has been left behind and a hull point taken. The heroic Terminator Sergeant has charged and survived a wound from the autocannon team. And then down here, has this squad made it into combat? No. Okay, but we do have a big bust up here against the unit that came out from the Land Raider. So no other charges anywhere else across the table? No. So we'll resolve these combats coming up next. Right, it's just resolving combats here. You can see the Terminators have wiped out the Centurion Devastators quite easily. Another wound though knocked up and challenge the Devastator Centurion Sergeant caused a wound here on there. So he's taken 2 wounds, got 1 wound left, but still that unit's a real thorn in the flesh here for the Imperial forces. Consolidating and moving off this way towards the Rhinos. We tried to do, we mentioned it in the shooting phase, we tried to do a flat out move here through cover, got stuck, taking a hull point, and that's caused a traffic jam with all 3 Rhinos trying to push through. That's pretty much stopped now, that advance coming up down the side. The tactical squad's left to disembark next turn. Easily won the combat here with the Infiltrators. That guard unit destroyed and consolidating 5 inches with the Infiltrators there. And then we won the combat there with the Dragoons, but failing morale with the conscripts, but the Commissar executed one of them and they've held their ground. Then coming across here, Terminator Sergeant killing one of the autocannon bases, failing morale, and then falling back 4 inches, unable to do a sweeping advance, and then consolidating just 1 inch. So he is out there in the open, standing defiantly at the edge of the bunker. So we just resolved the last combat here, big bust up. Have they held morale there, Lucius the Eternal? Fearless. Terminators haven't rolled over them here, but devastating damage done. The Sorcerer is gone, and 5 others, but holding here at Fearless, delaying the Terminators quite crucially from consolidating and moving off, but winning the combat at least. That is combat's finished. That is turn 2 finished. The Imperial forces. It has been pretty brutal shooting power in here, causing all sorts of damage, thinning down the Traitor Guard and Chaos forces, and then a lot of damage being done here on the bunker as well. And then quite effective at trying to protect the Imperial units as best as they can from range with the advancing Titans. The asset is still there, hidden. What is he going to do? Is he going to stay where he is, hidden, or make a dash for safety? We'll have to see. That's a decision that the Chaos players, or Chaos and Traitor Guard players, will have to make. So turn 2 is finished. So we're going to roll into the 3rd turn now for the forces of Chaos and Renegade Guard. Right, so movement here, barricades continuing to be manned by the conscripts, units holding their ground here, Predators holding their ground as well. Then the Macarius holding his ground, the Demolishers moving up. They've been joined now by the Hellhounds coming on from reserve, then holding ground with these units inside the bunker. Quite happy to stay where they are. The bloodletters beginning to move out across in this direction, and zombies beginning to spread out as well. And then the tanks beginning to push forwards. One of them with the Punisher cannon has got immobilised and the whole point taken, driving through the Aegis defence line. And then unit of zombies, it has made it here and has been pushing up also with the Plague Marines and Dreadnought to try and take on that combat squad. Be'lakor has come on from reserve. He's just here by the Bastion. And then combat continuing here. The Raptors jumping up and over, getting ready to possibly charge, perhaps against this combat squad. Abaddon and the Terminator moving round the drop pod. And then Ogrins closing in on the combat squad just there. And then the Cultists and Nurgle Sorcerer closing in to try and take on the Terminator Sergeant. And flying on from reserve, the Helldrake. And then holding ground here, really. Units pinned down in combat. Cascarins turning up from reserve to join in with the Terminators as they go after the Rhinos. Bikes moving up as well. And that is the movement finished. This squad moving along a few inches as well. So going to go on to Psychic Phase now on the third turn for the Evil Alliance. So Psychic Phase here. Invisibility on the bikes once again. Very difficult then to try and get rid of those. Misfortune cast not blocked here on the Cultists. Okay, Invisibility has been put on Lucius and his squad. That's tying up the Terminators there. It's going to be hard for them to hit in close combat now. It's a good move. Okay, then James has put Fire Shield on here and it's gone off successfully, giving a 4+ cover save to the Chimera. That's Psychic Phase done. Just various powers being cast. We'll go on to shooting now on turn 3 for the Evil Alliance. Right, so shooting phase here for the Evil Alliance. Rhino destroyed. That was fire from the bikes coming through. Tactical squad disembarking, passing their pinning check. One whole point coming through from the Terminators against the Rhino, result of a 4. Yeah, quad turret firing here, and then a snap fire hit with a melter destroying the Storm Talon. Terminator Sergeant still alive, who wasn't killed. Combat squad down here gone. That was fire from the Helldrake coming down. That squad is gone. Was there a squad here?
Yep.
Yeah, they're gone.
From the Raptors.
From the Raptors, okay, and those are going to charge across there. Okay, Blastmaster shot from a Noise Marine. He's just there, firing through, wiping out the entire combat squad. Is there any members of the combat squads left?
No.
No, all gone. Pretty dangerous. Pretty dangerous. Vanquisher shot here coming through, and a hull point on the Imperial Knight just there, failing his save for the shield. Then a cover save passed by the Scout Titan. That was fire from the Vanquisher cannon here, but no damage done. Cover save passed. Predators snap firing here. Number of other units. Load of anti-aircraft fire coming up. One hull point there on the Storm Talon. No other damage, but both of those flyers have jinked there. A couple of units of Rush Stalkers are brought down. That's fire from the conscripts, front rank or first rank fire, second rank fire, doing the damage there, holding their ground, holding their line against the advancing Mech forces. So just checking, it looks like shooting's finished for the Evil Alliance here. Just fire erupting all over the table. Some damage being done. I reckon the Imperial shooting has done more damage each round. You can see the devastation here across the table already. But that is shooting done. Gone to assaults. There's a few here. We'll get those resolved now. Yeah, so on to combats here. Terminators charging into the Rhino that they shot against. Cultists tried to charge the last Terminator Sergeant there and failed. And then down here, Abaddon has made it into combat there against the Terminators. There's a continuing vicious melee taking place there. But we'll get these combats resolved and some results here now. Right, so combat's resolved down here. The Rhino destroyed easily. Explosion there. One Marine killed and pinned. They've had to get out within the footprint of the destroyed vehicle just there. Okay, Sardonian Dragoons fighting here, killing 3. James busted morale again, so he's executed another conscript. Melee continues. They're bogged down now. James using the crack grenade, but getting no hits. Okay, so just resolving the last combat at the end there. Lucius Eternal fighting away against the Terminators. Casualties being taken on both sides. But we've really enjoyed this game here. It's been great fun. Excellent to have such big units on the table. And advancing forward. It's been an aggressive game here from the Imperial forces, usually on the defensive in Apocalypse games, so we've made it one where they need to attack, and it's been a case of firing and advancing, which has been great fun to behold and to take part in, and it's to see the different types of Imperial forces working together, the Mech, Imperial Fists, and then the 13th Legion as well, from Winters SEO's collection. And then just that progress, very light over here, and then getting darker and more sinister. And it's really added to the atmosphere of this drop pod assault descending into the heart of chaos-controlled territory. But that combat looks like it's resolved. Terminators, it looks like they have been decimated. There is one chaplain left, Chaplain Snow, and then also one Terminator of Underhammer, and then Lightning Claws as well. So Abaddon having his way with them by the looks of it. Lucius the Eternal invisible has proven difficult to hit, and that really is the last chance there for trying to capture this asset. So it looks like one is set to survive. With all the Marines killed, just empty drop pods left, the assault here has ended in almost a complete wipeout in this sector of the table. A lone Terminator Sergeant stands watching the carnage take place. Surely a tear is brought even to his eye. Right, so movement phase, the destroyers moving across to take on the Terminators here. Tactical squad is pinned. These two have disembarked, so 20 tactical Marines are now on top of the bunker. Remember that the asset is just inside the bunker here. Moving so fast here with the infiltrators an extra 3 inches to their move, and have moved down here ready to assault. And then the Storm Raven gunship gone into hover mode, and then 6 inches coming out here with the Terminators there closing in. Dreadnought as well, hover mode with both of the Storm Tans to lay down some withering fire as well. So possibly this turn the asset could be captured or destroyed, and another 3 victory points could go to the Imperium. Bikes moving up as well. Melee continues just there. The Titan holding its ground, ready to lay down some firepower. This Titan moving forward as well. So boldness now from the Imperial forces. They have done a lot of damage, and then the 2 brave Terminators and Chaplain Snow continue on their fight there, just in this corner of the battlefield. But the focus really is switched over to the fight inside the bunker. Will the asset survive? It is the Master of the Fleet. It's being protected by some Night Lords, but will they survive the shooting that comes through? We'll have to see. We're going to go on to psychic phase. No, there isn't. The Librarian is dead. So straight into shooting now for the Imperial forces on turn 3. Okay, shooting phase finished here on turn 3 for the Imperial forces. Snap firing Marines, no damage here. A couple of Terminators brought down. That was fire from the destroyers here. No damage on these bikers. Titans firing across. We'll cover those in a moment. Tactical squads disembarking here, destroying the guard units. Real destruction taking place. Then guardsmen being brought down here. That's the bikers looking set to shoot them. Not much damage being done from the flyers and the Terminators. They're all on snap fire because of evading last turn. But a couple of casualties coming through. Storm Talon did very well. Some wounds also being caused by the infiltrators here. There's 4 of those Night Lords left, and then Phileas Baal as well. And then the Master of the Fleet asset is then there also. Then no damage here from the Terminator Sergeant, and then it just gets a bit bleak over here. There's not much around. Combat continues. But damage coming in from the Titans yet. Land Raider destroyed there. That was fire from the Reaver Titan, and then the other gun destroyed the 2 Lehman Russ tanks here, the Vanquisher and Punisher. And then coming around, the Twin Link Turbo Laser Destructor from the Warhound, destroying the Macarius Vanquisher. So the magnitude of this firepower from 2 Titans in this game has been crazy. Plasma blast cannon as well, wiping out or killing one Ogryn and then wiping out the auto cannon team. Some of the conscripts, or a fair few of them being destroyed. That was fire from the Mech units beginning to close in from here and here, and moving up here with the Rust Stalkers just there. So that shooting phase done. Again, pretty brutal for the winner as far as shooting's concerned. Has gone to the Imperial forces, there's no doubt about that. Burning wrecks and blown apart bodies all across the table. Going to combats here, the last stand here by the Terminators coming up, and then possible charges, multiple charges against the Night Lord, and they're trying to protect the asset just there. So we'll roll those up now. So assaults here, pinned Marines, these guys wiped out their targets, but crucially, infiltrators easily made it into combat, and Terminators at a stretch, but they've done it, they have made it into combat against the unit there. So big trouble here for the Night Lords. Phileas Bar, is it? The Fabius Bar, okay, and the asset is in there as well. Wanted, dead or alive, it doesn't matter. Yeah, charge went ahead here. The lone captain, or sergeant, still alive, charging in against the mortar team, and then the bikers made in against the guard unit just there. Dreadnought failed to reach into combat, and that is about it. Just a continuing melee at the other end with the Terminators and Chaplain Snow. So we'll go on to combats here. We'll get this resolved. It could tip the game decidedly in the favour of the Imperial forces. We'll see. Right, so combats here. The Terminators and Chaplain Snow destroyed by Abaddon. The remaining Terminator here and Lucius the Eternal, they are gone. So the last chance to capture this asset is gone. So the Imperium can forget all hope of ever capturing him. So at least one of the traitors will escape here. And then combat here, one wound dealt out, but the mortars holding their ground against the Terminator Sergeant. And then the bikers beat the guardsman easily. One sergeant survived and has run off, failed to catch him. He's escaped and heading off in this direction. And then 4 more conscripts killed, but again holding their ground with the Commissar, keeping them in line. So the last combat, we've saved it here. We're going to roll it up. It's the last stand here by the Night Lord unit, Fabius Bar, and then they're going to take on the Terminators and the Infiltrators as well. Roll up some dice and get some results. Right, so roll up combats here. Who's going to go first? Fabius. All right, so he's going to fight against the Infiltrators or the Terminators? 2+ armor or 4+. Okay, he's going to fight against the Infiltrators here. So Tristan's going to roll up here. Freeze to hit.
4s to hit, whoever goes reduced by 1.
Okay, so it's on equals. So it's 4s for hits. Okay, and then toughness 3.
Strength 5.
Strength 5.
Poison and instant death.
Okay. Ooh, 2 wounds each, but instant death. So that's 3 of the Infiltrators brought down. Oh, okay. 6+ invulnerable saves first. Maybe save a couple. No. Okay, so 3 of them brought down. Maybe down to the Terminators to do the damage. Right. So regular Night Lords. I guess they're going to fight against the Infiltrators just to do the damage. They'll be at 3 this time, so 4s for hits. It's going for Terminators instead. It's going to try and reduce their number down. A couple of 1s would be good, just to try and reduce the combat power from that Terminator unit. Freeze to wound. There's a lot of saves to make here, so Winter's going to need to pull out some 2+ saves. 6 in the unit. Okay.
7 saves. Coming up.
I'll be fine.
2+. And 6+ for no pain. 2 down.
Okay, 2 Terminators down. Still 4 left though on the charge. Right, so Infiltrators next. Let's see if they can do some damage here. Winter's going to roll up for them.
Hitting on 3s because of increased weapon skill. Well, they're reduced weapon skill, so 3s to hit.
Okay.
Bad. And then strength 6. So winning.
Oh yes, with the tasers, yes. It's 2s for wounds. So bonus 2 hits they're included in, and 2s for wounds.
Look at
yeah, there's a fair few 1s, but 4 saves to make. So 3+ save.
Okay, and Fabius Bell's got. I'll take 2 on Fabius.
Okay. Passes.
All passes.
Okay, all passes. Down to the Terminators now to do the damage.
Sergeant.
Yeah.
1 hit.
Okay.
No wounds.
No wound. Okay. Right. It's down to the power fists. Right. So 9 attacks now from the Terminators, needing 4s to hit. It's going to take a good roll to get hits there. How many hits are we looking at? 1, 2, just the 4s. 7 hits here. Yeah. Next is strength 8, so 2s for wounds. They've all wounded here. Winters SEO may have rolled a deadly. So we're going to work out how many results we've got here. We're just checking how many models. Any invuln saves at all on that unit? No. And feel no pain?
No.
Not granted. Okay, so I reckon we have a wipeout here. We're just going to pull the models out to see how many there are inside. It's very hard to tell in the shadows. We'll pull them out here. We may see a wipeout and another asset gone. So just pulling out the models. Pull them up to the top of the bunker there. Interesting, so we can see there's 1. So remember, how many kills do we have there? 7 in total. There's 3. Fabius Bile goes. His toughness not high enough. Instant death on him. There's 4. 5. This is the Night Lord bodyguard. And there's the asset. That is 6. It was 7 kills that came through. The asset is destroyed. That is very, very significant here. Combat win. It's a wipeout. And then we can consolidate with those 2 units. It's been a vicious fight here in the bunker. But really it's been cleansed. There's hardly anything. No, there's 1 running guardsman, sergeant left. And that is it. Right, so the asset is gone. The Master of the Fleet has been destroyed. That means 3 points dropped for the Evil Alliance and gained for the Imperium. We think that has won them the game. There's no way back from that. It was a very successful attack here on the bunker. And then, well, really, victory has gone to the Imperium. And defeat can be blamed squarely on James, because he tried to conjure Bloodthirsters and destroyed the Astropath there. So we have played today all day long. It's been about 9 hours that we've played for. It is turn 3, but we think we do have a very clear result at this stage in the game. So we're going to calculate victory points. We see that there's no way back ready for the Forces of Chaos. It is a victory here. Wanted, Dead or Alive has resulted in 2 of the assets being killed. You saw the Master of Fleet just killed there. And then the Astropath, he didn't kill himself, he was just dragged into the warp, and it serves him right for dabbling in Chaos Sorcery. So 2 assets killed, that's 6 points to the Imperium. Then also 1 Super Heavy, the Baneblade destroyed, the Macarius destroyed, and the Shadow Sword destroyed after the horrendous firepower that we saw. That's 9 points to them. And then, yes, a victory point goes for killing an Imperial Knight, and very good. And then 3 victory points for holding on to the Master of Ordnance, who is just there. So that's 4. 9 points to 4. It is a clear Imperial victory. It's a good scenario. We really were unsure at the start of the game who would win. I think maybe Chaos would have won. And as I said, it all goes down to that horrendous perils there in that psychic phase. The Evil Alliance would have held on to that asset and possibly won. But then
there's enough forces.
There's enough forces, yeah. I mean, the drop pod assault here coming through, it came down, it did damage, distracted, yet kept the Evil Alliance forces away from the bunker, created sort of a gap along here. Yeah, that's right. We're just saying the Titans, what is there to stop them from advancing? Not much at all. The forces here would rally and continue on their push, cleansing this entire area. The question mark remains, though, would the Master of Ordnance escape? He probably would. So the question of James's heresy is still unresolved, I'm afraid to say. It will continue on. Keep a lookout for further alliances, perhaps. There are still elements of James's Imperial Guard that are traitor. The purge has taken place, but it hasn't been thorough enough. Elements of this traitor force will escape into the night. So great game. Truly epic in scale. A big thanks to Winters SEO for coming down. His forces have looked amazing on the table.
Thank you very much as well, Scorpion. You are a legend.
And then a big thank you to Tristan Whitehead coming down as well, contributing a huge chunk of the Chaos. Well, all the Chaos forces were his represented here today as well. Yeah, and Oliver Thomas as well. His forces, Tristan borrowed them today. A lot of the Plague Marines were mostly his as well, helping to contribute to the sheer scale of the game. So it was epic. There was areas of light and areas of darkness. But in this battle here, the forces of light have prevailed. So great game, very enjoyable indeed. We've enjoyed it here. It's been a great day's gaming. The largest Apocalypse game we've played so far, and we reckon it's been one of the best. So great game, thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Yeah, we're just talking about units of the game here. It's hard to choose in games of Apocalypse. But yeah, there's a number of units. Be'lakor was good for the Forces of Chaos. The Shadow Sword down here, remember that incredible shot that was made, that bullseye strike there, destroying one of the Imperial Knights, so it did very well. Yeah, no, we're just saying, it's easy to give credit units of the game to the Titans, but there's a lot of points in those, so the destruction that they brought about is expected. Really, the Scout Titan here, the firepower from that was very impressive in the game. But smaller units, ones that, smaller in the game, but just as significant. These Infiltrators, superb. The speed that they moved, the victories that they had in combat, an excellent unit there indeed. This flank attack was very, 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 very well executed. Real thorn in the side for the Imperial forces, so that was very well done. But really, it's so hard to choose units of the game here in a game like this. But perhaps Infiltrators here for the Mech forces. And then we'll say Be'lakor here. Excellent, that move that he did straight out, the psychic attack that was made, and just so hard to kill. A very, very good unit indeed. But that's units of the game for both sides.